you were lucky enough, I think I read somewhere years ago, that you saw them at the Cavern, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we used to get all these chicks came down to, because I lived in a holiday resort, so you get different girls would come down certain weeks, so you plan your summer ahead, And these 4 girls from Liverpool used to come down every year, and it was all Billy Fury. Oh, isn't he gorgeous, and all that. And then one year they came down and Billy Fury was gone, and it was Beatles, 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 And they even wrote a thing on my wall in the rec room I had in the garage, a drawing of a Beatle. It said Beatle Game, BEA, and I didn't know who they were, so I went up to Liverpool because I really fancied one of these birds anyway. It was 2 birds with 1 stone, so I went up to see her and she took me down to the Cavern. And I saw the Beatles about 3 times up there, I think. And then I saw them again in Llandud and Odeon when they got big, Same place I saw Billy Fury, actually. And then I saw him again in Rill. I don't know what the venue was. It was like a big pub, And then they were gone into the stratosphere after that,
These things get mythologized a lot, but you were there. But was it tangibly exciting to be in the Cavern? What's your memories of it?
The Cavern, there wasn't much fighting going on in the Cavern because there was no alcohol down there, It was just coffee and cokes and things, And most places were then, The thing where a boozer would put on bands didn't come so much later, It was like there was the pub and there was the coffee bar, and the coffee bar had the band, And it was just, you'd have like 7 bands a night at the Cavern. It was really good, A lot of really good bands up there then.
What's your specific memory of seeing the Beatles as a live unit? Were they any good? What was that?
They were excellent, yeah. I mean, later on you couldn't tell what they were doing because of the screams, but they were really a good band. At the Cavern, they were great, Eating sausage rolls in between songs, singing with your mouth full,
Eric Stewart said to me from Tennessee, he was saying he saw them at one of their...
Well, he was in Wayne Fontana then.
He was, yeah. He saw them doing a BBC audition, and when he saw them, he says, we look like a right bunch of twats come down from Manchester. We've got mohel suits on, and they all dressed in leather, and it was a bit scary, to be honest. That was what he remembers about them.
You see, the funny thing is that the Stones got the reputation as being the hard men, and the Beatles got the reputation of being like smarmy, but it was the other way around, in fact. Like the Stones were just dressing up. The Beatles were from Liverpool, man, it's a pretty tough place,
I've always thought that was pretty odd, but that's the Keith Richards thing, isn't it? Hard drinking later on and beer as well.
Yeah. Well, they were just dressing up, really, like dressing up as bad guys, like weekend ravers, But then, of course, they grew into it, and they became bad guys in the end. But it took a while. I mean, Jagger was never a bad guy, he was always too much establishment,
Such a character. My cousin James lives in LA. And he worked with Filthy Animal, the drummer. So Filthy had kind of retired. So my cousin James, he's got this band using the stuff they did with Filthy called Little Villains, very Motorheady. Filthy introduced him to Lemmy, so he took him over to his flat in LA. He had this mad collection of World War II Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah. He was quite open about that, wasn't he?
He was open about that, but did you see what he said about white power people? He goes, what have I done wrong for people to think that I'm into that?
Yeah. Because he might be collecting Nazi memorabilia. Might be one of the clues.
Lemmy was part of that generation. He's the easy rider end of the 60s, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's a very liberal end.
Yeah. And there was that sort of the next generation, people wearing iron crosses and stuff, was kind of, how can I most upset my parents' generation? And it's like kick against the one thing that no one would argue against,
Well, my cousin James wears one for his desert rock band. I mean, he's as liberal as they come, but it's part of his iconography for his band.